Have you ever been stuck wondering what to take when you're on your next big bike ride? Whether that's an adventure style gravel ride or just a long day in the saddle? Well, in this video then, I'm going to discuss what I take during my long bike rides and also what I use during this year's GB Duro. Hey everyone, Adam here from Elbow Nervous 7, here to share my experiences of this beautiful world of cycling and its big adventures. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and also if you could like the videos as well, it just helps me grow the content. Any links that I mention throughout this video, I'll put them in the description box below. So why is thinking about on the bike feeding so important? Firstly then, I'm not a nutrition specialist. Okay, this is just my experiences from past events, races that I've used. Okay, so it's just kind of a guideline, an overview, if you will, of what I've done and what I still do now. We always plan our adventures, we look at the routes, we look at the gear we're going to take, but a lot of people sort of overlook nutrition and what they're going to eat. They sort of rely on shops, quick snacks and things like that. And to be honest, if you're going to do these multi-day events, if you're going to do anything that's self-sustained, self-supported, then you really want to be looking at what you want to be eating to optimize your performance so you can actually really enjoy your time on the bike. And that's the most important thing. What I'll do now then is I'll just sort of talk through what I use, some of the bought stuff and some of the made stuff that I find really helpful when I'm out riding. So let's jump right in then. The first thing we're going to talk about then is your pre-bought, your packaged type items. And we mainly get them for convenience, ease, speed. When it's sort of last minute, you think, what can I take with me? And you buy a bar. Things I use then, I'll mainly stick to SIS products just because I find them more palatable. So I get your bar type things, your sort of energy bar, protein bar type things. These new little beauties, the oven bakes, they are, to be fair, they are pretty nice. They've got like a soft centre, so they're quite palatable, really easy to eat when you're on the bike, and you don't need a lot of water with them. And finally, sort of from them, are your gel type things. Obviously, I only sort of take 1 or 2 gels if I'm doing a long ride, and that's more sort of as a backup. I wouldn't recommend just relying on gels, as you might get some distress in your stomach and that, and obviously could cause you your guts to go south, and it doesn't matter what you do with the trowel after that, it's not going to help you out. Other little things I like to buy, sort of purchase, because I've not mastered making yet. These saurine loaf type bars. Now some people like to take the whole saurine loaf, they butter it, etc. I just like these different flavoured ones. They're quite small, quite easy to use, and they pack down, easy to put in your jersey pockets. And they're sort of the main bar snack type things that I personally use on these type rides. But other than that, I'll sort of try and stick to actual foods and food sources, which I'll try and eat on longer days. Along with like bars and snack things, a lot of people, including myself, do like a jelly sweet. The latest craze for me, Sour Patch Kids. Now, I sort of have them, they're decent carbohydrate source, sugar, give you a boost and stuff like that. But you don't want to be going overboard, or I personally don't think you should be going overboard in them, because you could get massive sugar spikes, and eventually you'll just be hitting a spike and crashing, hitting a spike and crashing, and it's an awful feeling. So you don't, great to have, just as I need a little boost, eat them as well as actual food. But don't just rely on them. You can get more packets, little bits and pieces, but again, all these things all come with their own individual packaging, and it just adds to the amount of waste that you've got to carry with you. Other little things I like to take with me then, that I would buy and not make, only because I can't make them, the humble banana. Now, if you're on a multi-day event, you probably might take a couple of these with you, but obviously, they can get smashed up quite easily, so just think about that. Things like the GB Duro, for example, you probably only have these for day one, on this year's one anyway, because it was self-sustained, meaning we couldn't stop anywhere, so I'd probably only have these for day one. But banana, great source of potassium, obviously can help you prevent cramps, so you get your hands on these, yeah, definitely take a banana with you. Hydration wise then, things to sort of buy and help you along the way. Obviously your SAS or Zero, OTE type tablet things, they're great, they're easy to take with you. You can take a tube of them quite easily with you on a multi-day ride. Find them really helpful. I mainly sort of use them for training. What I used on the GB Duro was a thing called salt sticks. Now they come in this, as you can see there. I think you can get them on sites like Wiggle and stuff like that. You can just do a search on them, but they are really high, well, the buffered electrolytes and salts. A really good thing to take. So what I did with them is I emptied them into a separate bag, and I kept that with me in my little day set that I carried. And I would then put some of them in a feed pouch, and throughout the day, particularly if I was sweating hard, I would just keep popping them, and I found that they were really helpful, preventing cramp. I just found that I felt that little bit more hydrated, because obviously you're drinking water. If you just drink plain water, you could end up flushing yourself out. So they definitely helped keep my electrolyte levels up. With that, then obviously you've got your tablets, you've got your salt sticks. You can also buy tubs of powders, and if you're really keen, you can look up the guy Will Gerling, who's on YouTube, and he can teach you how to make your own any drink, electrolyte drink. He's got 3 different types on there, and he talks through them. Really useful, really intelligent guy, and he can actually talk you through it if you're that way inclined and you want to make your own. Obviously that's better for the environment, and it'll save you some pennies. So yeah, big shout out to him. Make some energy drinks. So far then I've just shown you convenience type food, your snacky type foods, and stuff like that. Obviously if you're out and you're on a multi-day event, it's probably going to be self-sufficient, so you'll be thinking about stuff like, I'm going to stop here, I'm going to stop there, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to eat that. But what a lot of people do is they'll just like eat your pastries. They'll just grab the convenient stuff from the little hot counters and things like that. But the best thing you can do is actually eat proper food. So for me, I do like a meal. If I can get some sort of pasta, some sort of carbohydrate, something that's more substantial down me, it's gonna leave me feeling that much better when I'm on the bike for longer days. During the GB Jura, then obviously we were on. I always say on rations because that's what I used. That's what we call them. But your not your dehydrated type foods, but your vacuum packed explorer type foods that you can buy in most sort of outdoor shops and online. I use this type of thing, as you can see there. It's a lovely Moroccan style bean stew, and all the bean pastas and things like that I found quite helpful along the way. I would probably eat one of these around lunchtime every day. Because it was an actual source of food, it gave me that much more energy than just snacking and eating bars. But definitely recommend if you're doing a long event. Obviously if it's a race, it's a long race, then yeah, snacks, happy days, because you're not going to stop. But if it's your adventure style race, then just take that 2 minutes just to stop, have a quick stretch to sort yourself out and eat some proper food. It'll make all the difference in the days ahead when other people are starting to bonk. Another thing I like to do then is I like to prep my own food. So yep, great, I've got the ration Explorer type food, and that's fantastic, really convenient, but again comes with can come with quite a lot of rubbish that goes with that. One of my go-to sort of on the bike foods is a falafel wrap. I'm not vegan, but I do like trying all different foods, and like most people, like quite a balanced diet. And you can make falafels, but I like to go and buy these ones. They're sort of my favourite ones, really. Really good. I find them a really good energy source and quite filling, and because it's actual food as well. I just make put a bit of hummus in there, bits of beetroot, maybe some avocado, some bit of sriracha, lettuce, tomato. Really pack that wrap out. So it's just a good bulky one. 1 or 2 of them, in your back pocket is a really good source of food, and it'll leave you feeling that much more full rather than just snacking on bars. And also you don't get that awful sugary feeling where you've just been eating the snacky stuff. It'll give you that full feeling, and you feel like you've got that bit of energy. So for me personally, I mean, you can disagree, having them sort of wraps and actual food is really helpful when I'm on the bike for long days. Okay then, so I've mentioned some of the go-to foods that I like to eat when I'm on long rides and things like that. Obviously your ration type things, that's mainly for if it's an event and I can't source food. Wraps, like yesterday I had a 290k day, and that was perfect. Took a couple of them with me, along with a cheese and ham croissant, which I find lovely for a mid-morning snack, always a go-to food for me. But with your bars and things like that, if you don't want to buy them, then making them is pretty easy as well. You can make them, You know, wrap them in a bit of kitchen foil, wipe that in your jersey, and then you're good to go from there. They're so simple to do, and they smell amazing. I've got some down here right now. What I'll do is I'll try and put the link in the description box below, so you can then make them yourself. Make the bars, they're really good. And another thing I like to make is marzipan balls. I'll show you them there. You can see some marzipan balls there. Well, all they are then is shop bought marzipan. Get the block, cut it up, and then what I do then is I roll them into balls like that. Then what I then try and do is chop a load of nuts up, depending on what type of nuts you like, and then have some cocoa powder as well. Another thing I like to add in is a little bit of crystallised stem ginger. Adds a little bit of flavour in there. Push a hole in the middle, add in a few of the nuts and stuff, a little bit of the crystallised stem ginger, roll it back into a ball, roll it in the cocoa powder, and then put them in a tub and save them for when you need them. These are really good for long days. I used these on the GB Duro, had them for the duration, lasted fine, kept nice and moist, and you find that because they are dense, not only calories but energy, you know, they do give you a good energy boost, and they keep really, really well. I just kept them in a bag, like so. Obviously them two I've got smashed together a little bit. Doesn't matter because you just break apart and it's all going in the same way anyway. So marzipan balls, fantastic for on the bike, energy, really easy to make and a cost-effective thing to use. So yeah, definitely recommend them. Okay then, so that's just been a quick overview of things that I like to eat and use when I'm on these multi-day adventures, rides and races. So my top sort of 5 sort of tips really, or bits of advice or things that I personally use. Number 1 would definitely be the marzipan balls. They're an absolute game changer. Get them in your life, they will make a difference. Easy to make and they last a long time. Other things then, if you're after saving a few pennies, definitely make yourself some homemade bars. Fantastic, really easy to make and they taste great, so get them in your life as well. Salt sticks then, alright. Obviously, as I mentioned, I used them during the GB Duro as well. Found them really useful, convenient, so small, you know, you get well over 150 tablets in a pot. Take them with you, you're going to keep yourself hydrated, topped up on electrolytes. They're definitely a game changer as well. Whole foods then, having some sort of main meal for your lunch, evening meal type thing. So obviously your pasta type meals, fantastic, and also wraps. If you're able to make it, sauce them before you go, fantastic. So for me, go-to is a falafel wrap. I find them really tasty and it just mixes up the palate, so you're not just eating bars constantly. And finally then, I would definitely say take some jelly sweets, if not just for morale. You know, Sour Patch Kids, they're my go-to now. I found them really nice, got myself a little bit addicted to them. But yeah, there's sort of the 5 main things that I would definitely take something in that area when I'm doing these multi-day adventure style rides. Well, that's it then for things that I like to eat and use on long rides, multi-day adventures. Thanks for watching. As always, it's really appreciated. If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe, really helps me out. And if you want to know more on anything that I eat or use equipment-wise, then please just leave a comment in the descriptions below. And like I always say, I'll get back to you and I'll bring you something in the near future. Check out a couple of my other videos. I'll put a link up to them there. See what you think, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. Cheers.